Welcome, everybody. It's another exciting edition of the Sports Hole. I'm your host, Luke. With me, as always, XFL Jim, rock and roll Matty Goldberg. What's going on, dudes?
What up, boys? This is
like crazy day today.
One of the most depressing days of my whole life was this.
What happened? UFL closed down?
Well, the UFL season ended. Yeah, the season ended.
It's terrible.
I thought you were gonna say they disbanded.
No, Matty, you would have already known from me. You would have known by my mugshot. I would not be here talking with you right now at the UFL.
You'd have to be GoFundMe for bail.
That or I'd be up with the spring football gods right now.
Wow,
with my wings.
Wow, rooting them on that big spring.
Well, why is today a bad day then?
Oh, just because the season ended. It's always sad when the season ends. It's always bittersweet.
Well, I got news for you. The NFL, the real football, and the second real football, college, is starting up soon.
Well, I got news for you. Canadian football is already going into week 3.
Come on, Matty. What's your new news? Do you have more news?
Today's crazy news.
What's crazy?
We had the first death in the Dabbleverse.
Really?
Yeah.
Who died?
A minor character, but Luke might know him. He goes by Ski Mask.
I may have briefly saw one of his.
I have heard of this. I have heard of this person.
So Ski Mask died today, and Chad Zumock, a villain in the Dalverse, did a video basically pissing on his grave, saying he's so happy he died. And then it gets worse. This is how crazy the Dalverse is. Chad Zumock was broke, so he was grifting a death pool, and he even said that he would give $500 of his own money to the winner. A lot of people picked the Ski Mask guy because he did drink and do a lot of drugs, I guess. I don't want to say anything because I don't know a lot of,
allegedly. Will you just say allegedly?
Yeah. And I always let the dead rest, and rest in peace, Ski Mask. I only watched a few of his things. He seemed like a funny, interesting guy. But now Chad, he even said he would give $500 of his own money. A lot of people picked this guy. A lot of people gave him money. He doesn't know how to pay everybody now. He's fucked. So, I'll send you the video. He danced on this guy. This poor guy died. His father found him the day after Father's Day. And he did an hour just fuck him. He's going to hell. Fuck his family. He deserves to die. It was insane.
What was the most notorious thing he did in his reign in the Dabbleverse?
Well, he would go on Kevin's show, and he wore this pink ski mask that was kind of funny. That was kind of his thing. Mm. And then he would talk about drinking a lot. And he was a troubled guy, but a lot of people say, he was a really warm, nice guy. And I feel horrible for his family and his father. And, I don't feel I not shocked by Chad Zumock, though.
Not shocked?
This is par for the course in the Dabbleverse. But in Vegas a week ago, these podcast wars are happening. A guy killed another podcast guy from another podcast war group.
Really?
Yeah, these things are getting crazier.
Let me guess, Maddie. Now you're afraid that Wolf of Oaklawn is outside your house with a gun, right?
Oh.
It's going to turn back to Maddie now. I can feel it.
If Wolf of Oaklawn dies, I'm going to be like, serves him right. I always felt like he didn't like me. Fuck him and his family.
You piss on his grave?
And he never won horse races. He gave me a tip at Saratoga 4 years ago when I lost $10. Fuck him.
I have a question about the Dabbleverse, Matty.
Yeah.
What's going on? Is John just retired?
No, he's not
I feel
podcasting.
Okay, because I feel like I don't hear anything about him anymore.
Okay, he's doing comedy sets, and he somehow manages to get himself on these news shows in the morning. To plug his
local
gigs.
News?
Yeah, they're amazing. So he always hits on the girl, and it always starts out where they're like, John's in town, and then they fake laugh. He says the same stories over and over, like his thing, and then He hits on the girl to go, and by like 3/4 in, she's like, they're just like, all right, this is a big mistake. We had this guy on. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta give a dog away, and I'll come back. But he is back. He just won't
Just won't
stream.
podcast. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll send you that video too. It's been amazing. He's been amazing. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
Isn't that? I wonder, like, how many people listening actually understand any of that.
I don't. I mean, there's a guy I follow on Twitter that talks about the Dabbleverse a little bit.
Yeah,
and I barely get it. Like I hear the names and I'm just like, it's very funny. Like it's a whole universe of people.
Yeah.
It's very also related to, like, I don't know if you know what lolcows are online.
Well, I mean, that's what he is.
Yeah, that's what they are. But like,
yeah,
because I know there's other lolcows that I follow that aren't part of the Dabbleverse.
Right.
And it's like I get it for that reason.
Like, who else is a
the big one right now is World of T-Shirts. He's this like guy who just does nothing but drink and yells at people.
Oh, okay.
Tries and sings. But people go up to him in person and just be like, put the fries in the bag, and he starts screaming at him and coming after him. But he's very funny. There's also just random people on TikTok that I find. There's this one guy that just his entire apartment is just filled with jugs of piss.
What?
And he does different things with piss. Like he made a piss air conditioning unit.
Like he's like the Mr. Wizard of
yes.
Like MacGyver of piss.
He did piss boxing where he just taped 2 piss jugs to his hands and started like punching the wall.
Okay, I have to see this guy. That's
I'll send you a link. I'll text you a link to his channel.
There's also piss featured in our movie review of Chiefsaholic.
Yes.
Later on.
Yes, yes.
A lot of piss in there. A lot of piss. This is the piss episode now.
I guess so.
Just pissing it away. All right, Maddie, get back here so we can get into the crux of things. But we can start. He'll jump in with his hot takes. Got the NBA Finals. Momentum keeps shifting back and forth in this thing, and now it feels like it's totally locked into OKC.
I see, but I thought the same thing after, what was it? Was it game 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that they dominated.
Maybe two where they beat the doors.
Yeah, where they beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, every time OKC wins, I'm like, oh yeah, this is dominant performance. Except for the second time they won, when it was like I felt that this was Indiana giving it away. But
yeah,
it feels like when OKC wins, it's very dominant. When Indiana wins, it's like come back from behind.
Right.
Very like scrappy. I think honestly this could easily go to 7. I
can see it. It would amaze me, but I kind of feel like OKC's like, okay, we're not fucking around anymore. Their defense has been so good.
Did you know this is the first time in the playoffs that the Pacers aren't leading in a series?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's cool.
They've been dominant, dude, and haven't lost back-to-back games. So, I don't know.
Maddie, get in here. We're talking NBA Finals.
Yeah, if freaking what's his face is hurt, I mean,
Halliburton's
because I love this bet I made and I believed in it and I thought I could hedge out a little, but if he's hurt, it just kills the series because they need him. But if he's hurt, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, I mean, he's unreplaceable. I kind of think the key to the Pacers is Matherin. Because he somehow can put up 30 points, but he does it one every 10 games. I'm like, if he can do that every game, they can win, but he's like 5 points, 4 points, then 30.
Right.
4. But he is the X factor. He's that extra score they need that, unfortunately, he's not consistent. He's a young guy, and hopefully he'll get better, but, you know,
I've been waiting for him to really take off. He was a beast at Arizona.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's like, okay, he has the capability to do that, but he doesn't do it enough. He's not.
Tell Jake to shut the fuck up. I can hear him.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they set up a basketball hoop right outside my door.
Tell him to get a little fucking respect.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell with this series. It feels like OKC's in control now, but I also will never count out the Pacers.
Don't count him out, but if he's hurt and you see
Yeah.
him like playing like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
he got to be all go. The door's unlocked.
I'm gonna go Pacers win this one. OKC wins it in 7.
I'm going Pacers in 7.
I
hope
hope
you're
say
right, Matty.
OKC
I
closes
mean,
it
obviously
out.
OKC will probably win especially if Halliburton is like what he's been. And
This is starting to feel like the NHL now. Like,
yeah, I mean,
A little bit, yeah.
I don't understand the Oilers. Like, why didn't they get a fucking goalie? Like, they've had years to get a goalie. They wasted this. The way I don't watch a lot of hockey, but I watch playoffs, and there's like formulas to winning. And one of the things the one team I covered that I watched every game religiously was the Bruins in 2012 or something when they had Tim Thomas, he's a very controversial figure because
why is he controversial, man?
he's a right winger,
I feel like hockey would be the sport where you'd get the most of that. Hockey and baseball, perhaps.
But he didn't go to visit Obama, and a lot of players were pissed, and he kind of was like, he was a hero, and then he was. But he was so good in the playoffs, I noticed that he would steal a game. A goalie can steal a game where you're outshot by 12, 15 shots a game, and your goalie just stands on his head and you win in spite of being outplayed. And the Oilers not only will ever get that, they never get a game where their goalie outplays the other goalie. They have to play even better in spite of their goalie. And Florida has that goalie, and Florida is a perfect playoff team. So the Oilers don't make the changes to be a great playoff team, if that makes sense. Their firepower is incredible, but they don't make the changes to let's get tougher and let's get a better goalie. Just my thoughts.
Yeah, that's what were people saying. Florida overpaid for their goalie too. Like, isn't he one of the best
they paid for two Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
I was also I heard the takes people are saying that the Florida teams have an unfair advantage.
Why?
Because of the no state income tax, so they could pay what was it say player A is getting 10 mil up in Canada where the taxes are crazy, or you can get 7.5 mil in Florida.
I don't know if their payroll is it's not like they're the New York Yankees and the Dodgers.
No, but they don't. I'm saying they don't have to pay.
No, because that even makes a difference in American-based sports.
Okay,
too.
I get it, but yeah, Luke's right. Why aren't the Magic? Why aren't the Heat winning every year? Why aren't the Florida Marlins winning every year? Why aren't the Dolphins winning every year? Florida, look, it's fun to play there too, because if you're a Canadian guy, where would you not want to play? Florida, where it's beautiful, or fucking Calgary, right?
Edmonton, where you're so far.
But then you would think there's more distractions. So there's probably a lot less distractions in Edmonton. All you can do is play hockey.
These guys are 23-year-old men. They want distractions.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Miami,
exactly. That's
model
what I'm saying.
capital of the world.
How could you focus playing there?
You don't want to focus.
I agree. That's why there's no advantage of playing there.
Jim's right though. The taxes do make a difference because yes, you're right. They don't it doesn't equal out all these Florida teams are winning every year, but that does factor into decisions with pro athletes, even though it's not as widespread or talked about. But Canada's taxes are even way higher than any state taxes here.
Well, if they want to win a cup, maybe lower your taxes. If you're bitching about America winning the Stanley Cup every year.
What if they just move the franchise to Idaho? Then they could.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That actually was a question on Mike Francesa when somebody said there would be an expansion NFL team in North Dakota. And he goes, North Dakota? North Dakota?
Was it as the state of Florida won 4 of the last 5?
I think so. The Lightning. too, and now Florida. But like the coach is great, the players are great. They got the look. Sergei Bobrovsky was cut on two teams that Columbus and Philly had him, and he wasn't Sergei Bobrovsky in Florida, but he wasn't that same goalie back then, but he was developing, and they got rid of him. So it's not like they've got Otani type players that they pay less or like all want to come there for income tax. They just developed a really good fucking playoff team. My opinion.
Yeah, no, it's.
I mean, I see your point, but I also think that's a coincidence as well. Like, Florida's developed like from drafting the right guys, and Sergei Bobrovsky being the best goaltender in hockey, they lucked out. And goaltending is huge.
A good organization makes
great organization.
A lot
and
of
goaltending is huge. And watching Skinner last night give up the first shot on a shot where he can see the puck. You got to make that shot. This is the fucking Stanley Cup. I'm sorry. That was it. That's the game right fucking there. A soft goal. Some goalies don't give up any soft goals.
I never have.
I agree. I sure did.
Speaking of soft,
yeah,
WNBA ain't soft.
Oh yeah, they're fighting.
Dude,
this is like 80s Bad Boys era.
I know. I like to see it.
Oh my god, I am living for this.
I like to see him sticking up for Caitlin Clark. Finally, they didn't do that last year for her.
No, this is great. Yeah, it's that and like her enforcer's like hot too.
Yep. I know. It's like, listen, you come after her, we come
Sophie
after
Cunningham.
you. Yeah. Yeah, it's I guess it's good. It's good for the sport.
But Caitlin Clark's been going off since she came back from that injury.
I saw her on Saturday.
Her first game back. Oh,
those 3 threes in a row were insane.
Like 32 points, almost a triple double.
This is gonna piss off Angel Reese though.
Did you see that Angel Reese trademarked me bounds?
Insane.
Oh my god.
It's wild as well. I'm watching Caitlin Clark doing it, I'm like, the person that's watching this that's the most mad is Angel Reese. And it's like, why are you mad? Like, she's a great player.
Jim and I, when you stepped away, we were talking about LOL call
lol cows.
Lol cows.
Sure.
Like Stuttering John. And I think she might be she's one of the few athletes I've ever seen that has become one.
Yes.
It's amazing. I laugh so hard every time people post these clips of her, just like they set it up all dramatic, like she's going to do something cool, and then it's just terrible.
Well, we got to remember, she's 22.
There were these guys. There was this TikTok like video group guys that every game they would make they bet that she would miss her first basket every single game.
Yeah.
And they got taken down. They got like copyrighted somehow. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we got
also hilarious. Hilarious.
She's 22, so like most men and women are cringe on the internet at 22. So
I'm cringe on the internet at 31.
Exactly.
Well, Angel Reese has like promoted herself enough, so she has a lot of nice endorsement deals.
Yes, she got that McDonald's.
Yeah. What was her draft pick? Do you remember?
7th or something.
It was like 7th, right? So picture the 7th draft pick being the only one anybody else remembers, and it's not because they're better than anyone else. She can definitely rebound. It's just some forward that can collect rebounds.
But in her defense, and I will say this, we remember Brian Bosworth, and what people compliment him now about is like, yeah, he was a bust in the NFL, but he understood how to market himself. And people still talk about him. We don't know, like, I think he was in the 83 or the 84 draft or the 85 draft. Nobody talks about the other players, or like nobody remembers unless it's like Dan Marino or people like that are super big.
Right.
They remember the boss. No, so she's kind of like she's trying to be like the boss, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's the new boss.
Something like that.
Now she's got a star in a movie called Stone Cold 2.
Stone Cold 2.
Daughter of Boz.
That would be amazing.
wouldn't it?
Mhm.
Oh, history today. This is huge. Did not see this coming. The Bus family is selling the Lakers
Yep.
after like 45 years of ownership
Crazy.
for $10
Crazy to
billion
think.
dollars.
Crazy to think it's the end of an era.
It's insane.
But you know what? Like if you're Jeannie Buss, you're what? She's in her 50s. Sell the team, enjoy the money. Why do you need to worry? Yeah, you'll have no worries the rest of your freaking life.
Well,
Enjoy
the
yourself.
thing too is that apparently the older sibling, like the whole team, whenever a sibling dies, the rest just goes to the other siblings. So it wouldn't go to that person's kin that
Mm,
died, any
yeah,
part of it. So it's their way of divvying up the money now so the older siblings' families can have a part of
gotcha.
that money,
Mm.
as opposed to it just all trickling down to the youngest siblings. Um, but this is insane. There's so much going on with this. This is also sold to the what's this guy's name? Mark Walter Group, the group that owns the Dodgers. So this is like not even like before you've had a lot of these celebrity led
Mm,
uh,
yeah.
companies or
Well,
whatever, or
magic is
groups
magic part of
or
it.
family owned. This is like we're these teams are too expensive to be family owned anymore now.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, like when I look at it, like following the Red Sox. I don't know if you have Devers on the rundown.
I do. Yeah,
I hope you do because I want to talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
that. They own the Penguins. They own all these soccer teams.
Right.
So it's like they have to do something, I think, for sports to
Well, and
break up these
the same guy owns
monopolies.
like the Commanders and the 76ers, right?
It makes no sense. I hate it.
They're the thing though is they're not going to. It's because this giving the option for other conglomerates or monopolies to buy these teams raises the value. The less buyers you have, the lower the price you can fetch for something. It's like I live in a place where there's a lot of Airbnbs, right?
Hmm.
And so if one person owned a lot of Airbnbs, they would not ever vote to get rid of Airbnb because and everybody's uh, housing value would drop because suddenly you have more homes out there on the market and whatnot. So it's the same thing with sports. These owners are it sucks because so many of them have been tied with the communities.
Yeah.
You have the Rooneys, you have the Maras, other famous sports families. Um, but this is their time to cash out now.
And it's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So unfortunately, we're not going to have as somebody described, I heard the Lakers were the biggest mom and pop operation on the planet.
Hey,
You
that
know,
was the fun part of the show. I like the show.
yeah, it's it was fun. Yeah, that family drama always going on, seeing them at the games, so interesting.
Because it must be cool. Like my daddy owns a fucking pro basketball team.
Yeah,
It's a cool,
I gotta
like,
go.
but
I'll be right back.
yeah, I just hate this idea of sports where you see like the owner of this team owns this team, and then four soccer teams,
right.
and then
And
a
yeah,
racing
I don't
team.
like it that they're in different markets too.
Yeah,
Like if it
that's
was all in
annoying.
one market, then you're tied to that city.
Mhm.
Like that's it. But
I
no,
agree.
it's like now I have to root against this city in another
Yeah, it's crazy.
league.
Like I didn't know the Penguins were owned by the Red Sox, and I'm like, what? I just found that out. Like Pittsburgh people are like, sell the team, like the
Yeah,
Fenway Group they call it, and I'm like,
right.
it's
They own like
weird.
Liverpool too, I
Yeah, and
think.
it's weird to think that the Red Sox own the Penguins. Like so bizarre.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. Um, so the Lakers sold for 10 billion. Do you know what it was purchased for?
I'm gonna say so. Jerry Buss, I'm gonna say bought it in. I'm gonna guess 78,
Mhm.
77.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 15 mil
No, but not
less. Less or more?
No, it was 67.
That's a lot of fucking
It's still
money.
a lot. It's still a lot.
But
You're
hey,
talking
10 billion. 10 billion is a lot more than
3,245% return on investment. That's
Not
pretty
bad.
good, right?
Not bad.
Now, does everybody out there want a little financial advice from the Lukester?
Buy a professional team.
No. Actually, if you would just invest in the S&P 500, you would have returned 13 billion. So while that sounds like a dramatic, and it is, return on investment, everybody out there, just put your money into the S&P 500, and then you don't even have to manage it or worry about it, and just let it grow. Let it grow.
You don't need to own the Lakers.
You don't need to own the Lakers.
Right.
Just own a little Coca-Cola stock.
They should buy a UFL team.
Jim, you think everyone should buy a UFL team? How much do you think
every
it would
rich
cost to
person.
buy a UFL
They
team
should
right
bring
now?
a team
That's
back
a good
to Vegas.
question.
Can we
That's a
start a
good
GoFundMe,
question.
Kickstarter?
They need to get
I don't know, probably more
the
than
Vegas
that.
Vipers going again is what they need to do.
Vegas Vipers.
Yeah.
Maya Lesnar, Brock's daughter, won the nationals on her first throw in the shot put competition.
Yeah, because she kills it, dude.
I don't have a comment.
What do you
She's
mean you
great.
don't have a comment, Maddie?
I just don't have a comment.
You're not excited for Maya Lesnar?
No.
Have you seen her throw?
Nope.
Damn,
Maddie, what's the matter? I feel like there's something going on here that you
Nothing.
don't want to talk about.
I just don't know anything about it. I know it's Brock Lesnar's daughter, but that's all I know.
You know, she looks exactly like Brock Lesnar.
That's pretty hot.
I agree.
Yeah, she's got an R. Crumb type build.
I remember when he tried out for the Vikings, and he did not do well.
Dude, she's a freak athlete.
No,
I think it kind
I
of
thought he did well.
Yeah, he did well. He did well.
Like, but did he
To
even
get
play
his feet
football in
almost,
high
he was
school?
like one of the last cuts.
But I don't even think he played football in high school. Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know if he did.
Like, he was a phenomenal athlete, and
Yeah.
Maya is carrying on that tradition.
Oh, dude, she's killing it. I love it.
Maddie, do you want to talk about the Rafael Devers trade?
Yeah, this is an interesting one because it's got a lot of. This is one of those trades.
Set this all up for us, baseball casuals.
I think, people have compared it to Nico Harrison and the Donachik trade, but I think it's totally different. It's not what happened. I've seen half the people say the Red Sox just gave away a great player for nothing and they're fools. I've heard a lot of people say the Red Sox made the right deal. I've heard a lot of, Devers love, a lot of Devers hate. I'm on the thing of like, here's the scenario. This is a very interesting one. Rafael Devers is a great hitter. He's had a very good career in Boston. He's probably like right outside a top 10 hitter, maybe a top 10 hitter. Can't field for a lick. So he's the worst third baseman fielding in the MLB. They got Alex Bregman, the best fielding third baseman, a hell of a hitter in free agency, which was a great deal. They didn't tell Devers that, which hurt his feelings. And so he was pissed coming into spring training. They asked him to play first. He said no. So he decided to DH. Then their weirdo first baseman, Tristan Casas, got hurt. They then asked Devers to play first. He said basically, fuck you. He basically said, what do you want me to do? Pick up a glove? Like, now you want me to play first base? So it just seemed like, all right, he's not happy here. He's still butthurt from the beginning of the season. We should probably let him go. But my feeling is it's a team game. You're getting paid over $10, $20 million, $30 million. If they need you to play first base, do what's best for the team. The Red Sox fuck up because they try to play it both ways. They try to be nice, and then they try to not be nice. And you got to be either Bill Belichick or you got to be super nice. You can't half-ass it. This is a boundaries thing. This is where you let the players walk all over the management. You let them walk all over it, and then you do something, and then you look like the bad guys. I saw Belichick cut Randy Moss because he complained one time. You know,
Yeah.
so if you're going to be cold-hearted and move on from a guy that's not a team guy, you move on. But like, I don't think it's a bad deal for the Sox at all. I really don't. I don't. I don't think Devers makes that much of a difference unless like a team needs one like extra DH type guy because he can't field. He's a bad attitude. He wasn't a team player in Boston. Now he says he's going to play first in San Francisco, which is shitty because it's like we asked you to do this. We're paying you $30 million, and now you're gonna like it's just shitty. And hats off to the Giants. Have fun with them. My opinion, but a lot of people are like, the Sox are idiots.
Did the Sox get anything for him?
They got 3 decent pitchers that we don't know. They're all prospects.
Gotcha.
One is the second best prospect last year. He's 23. He hasn't done much, but he was the second biggest prospect last year as a pitcher. The thing about what was I gonna say? I think that's pretty much it. So that's kind of the debate on this. It's not like set in stone, in my opinion, that who won, who lost just yet.
Okay.
If the Giants go off and they make a World Series run and Devers goes off, then the Red Sox are fools.
Yeah.
But if he just hits, he's a professional hitter is what he is.
Right.
But it was shocking that they needed him to play first, and he was just like, fuck you. He's like, oh, now you want me to pick up a glove. Right? That's what he said. So it's like, okay, get him out of here.
I'm like afraid to ask for a $2 raise at my job, and a guy making $30 million won't switch positions in a time when he obviously should.
Because he feels a little hurt because they brought in a guy that can help the team be better. So, I mean, a lot of people are like, this is terrible. Now, they gave away Mookie Betts, who was a great guy.
Right.
Stand-up class guy. Loved everywhere for nothing because they're dumping salary. This, I feel it's like, look, he didn't want to be here. He's not a team guy. You're not going to win with a guy like that anymore. It's probably best for everybody that they move him on. It just, the timing was weird too because the Red Sox just swept the Yankees. His last at bat was hitting a home run against the Yankees. So that was a little weird, but this was probably in the works for about a month, in my opinion. And now we'll see what the Red Sox just brought up a bunch of prospects. They got Bregman coming back. We'll see what they do.
Jim, I feel like this next story is something. Matty.
I'm just in the camp that the Red Sox made the right decision.
All right. Only time will tell. Yeah. Only time will tell. Jim, I feel like this is this next story. This is something you would do. A guy who lost his brother to cancer dresses as a pair of testicles for ultra marathon along Hadrian's Wall, the wall that divides Scotland and
I would
UK
100% do this.
England.
Even if it was like I've never ran a marathon before, I would do something stupid for my first marathon run, and probably like you'd see like this pair of testicles like throwing up over a bridge or like throwing up on the side of the road.
Testicles throwing up. Probably see that a lot.
I love gimmicky shit. Like I love people coming to the bit like that. There was a guy that back in the old XFL days in 2020, in 2021, the main ticketer for the Arlington Renegades did a marathon in full football pads.
Oh
yeah,
man,
and helmet and everything.
Well, he was honoring his friend who passed away from testicular cancer and raising awareness.
Damn right.
For nuts.
So nobody's complaining.
No, I don't think anybody's complaining.
So what's the problem?
There's no fun story, I think.
Yeah, there's no problem, Matty. Why does there need to be a problem?
I was thinking like maybe someone.
Matty's always got a problem.
Is Matty pro? Are you pro to testicular cancer, Matty?
Yeah, I'm offended by what he did.
I will say this. Why does it seem like every cancer like fun run charity thing? It's always for like awareness,
right?
Do we like why?
Because you're aware of it.
I feel like most people are now aware of cancer. Can we do it for like for research?
I don't know. Sometimes I just forget about it. I'm like,
that's fair.
Oh shit, cancer! I forgot about cancer. No, that's how I always was with like breast cancer, because breast cancer is like far and away the leader in cancer awareness. I feel so. It's I want to see somebody run as a pair of tits. I don't see that.
I want to see someone running with their tits out, just like big,
Yeah.
big old saggers.
I'll
Just
never
maybe
forget when
Andy Reid
Stuttering
will
John
do it.
asked that woman who had breast cancer, I heard you lost a tit.
What happened to your tits? You guys ever wonder what it would be like to be in a conversation with Jameis Winston?
No.
I do all the time.
Thanks, Maddie.
I do it all the time.
Well, Darius Slayton's going to tell you exactly what it's like to be in a conversation with Jameis Winston.
It's like, it's so hard to describe. It's just like how I'm talking right now. He'll be talking just like this, and it's just the random thoughts that come to his head, and they just come out. And it's like, we were talking about, a slant. How did we get to Kentucky Fried Chicken? It's like just hard lefts. Like, I can't think of an exact example, but like that's how best I could describe it. It's just like random hard lefts, but then he comes right back on topic. So it's like, am I tripping or are you tripping? But
it's like talking to my wife, except she doesn't go back on topic. So then I always feel disorientated after speaking with her.
You're having like 4 different conversations in one.
Yeah, I'm like, why did I come in here to talk to you?
Sounds like a fun quarterback room in
They're probably having a blast.
Yeah, they got a young
Rookies.
Jackson Dart. They got 2 vets. Let's see what they do.
They're gonna be feisty, dude.
Antonio Brown still on the lam. He is wanted for.
So is he missing?
Attempted murder. No, he's in the Middle East right now.
What's he doing in the Middle East? Hiding?
He's trying to settle the Israel-Iran
That would be amazing
conflict.
if he solved it. He should be pardoned
Just
of all
ripping
crimes.
his shirt off and running down the Gaza Strip.
Yeah,
He's just flying over like the Middle East in a hot air balloon, trying to.
It
like,
would be
solve
funny.
all problems.
Everybody would be like, "He's so crazy," and then the Israelis and Palestinians all laugh, and then they go, "You know what? It's going to be okay." They
you
set their
never
arms
know.
down.
He could bring cheer to the world.
Well, I mean, it's not. Remember when Dennis Rodman kept going to North Korea?
Yeah.
Like they were like sort of giving him cred for, tempering
what's
down
crazy
the
is
situation there.
I think Dennis Rodman is batshit crazy, and he's not even close to what Antonio Brown is.
No,
nobody is. God. Yeah, so
they're going to discover a new form of CTE.
So is he like out of the country because he knows he'll get arrested as soon as he?
I don't know. He's in Dubai. I remember we did show a
probably
video
just
of him in Dubai a while ago
He
where
ain't
he was like
coming back.
swimming nude in a hotel like pool. But this stems from an incident where he said he got out of an event and some guys jumped him to try to steal his jewelry and then he shot at him. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, and with Antonio Brown, you don't ever quite know what to think because he's so. All right.
Someday there'll be a very interesting doc about him.
Oh, I can't wait for that. It's still being written as we speak. My God.
Yes. The ending is
good news for Colts fans. Jim Irsay's daughter, who's now taken over the team, is going to be on the sideline with a headset.
Hell yeah, I love it. Good.
How old is she?
I don't know. Like,
It's
she looks like she's in her.
Is she crazy like her father?
I can't tell anymore with women's ages because they put all that filler in their face, so they could either be 31 or 61.
Is she nuts like her dad?
No, she is. She's 44.
And is she a coach?
No, she's just going to be on the sideline with a headset, and nobody's quite sure why. But
so she's a co-owner, by the way.
Well, yeah, her other sister. Run it too. Maybe she's just picked as the one to be the final voice.
I love the headset. I love it.
Oh, I know. It's just like I wish I was a hacker. I want to hack into those comms and see if she actually says anything or what notes she's writing down. Like, is she going to add to the strategy of the game?
Oh, did you see the picture of her with a headset on?
Yeah. Looks like she's had the headset on before.
Yeah, it's like a thing that she
Is
normally
it like
does.
a Kevin Brennan burger world?
It looks like it. I don't see the mouthpiece on it, but I'm sure it's there. Yeah, it's one of those, Maddie. And then she's got. It looks like she's got the play, the play sheet in front of her as
Yeah.
well.
Is she just cosplaying as a coach?
Why not? I'm a coach.
I like it.
You know what? I love it.
What if she pulled a Popovich and fired the coach and then took the team over and coached him?
That would be awesome. That'd be hilarious. I love coaches that are like definitely into football and into like the fun aspect of like you own a team.
Right. Like enjoy it. Enjoy yourself.
Yes.
You know, Mark Cuban might have been the last fun owner.
We need a crazy owner back.
And going back to batshit crazy. So Tyler Hero claims he doesn't believe in history before 1950.
I saw that.
And his excuse is, how do we know?
Bro, Tyler Hero is an idiot.
The top comments I saw was like, thank God this man can dribble a basketball.
This guy is a fucking idiot. I've seen him talk. This guy has all the talent in the world, and he doesn't know how to play basketball. It's crazy how dumb he is. And it's crazy that Jimmy. It's so obvious why Jimmy Butler wanted to get the fuck out of there. That's like your star player.
So this stemmed because he was on a Twitch stream and someone was asking about, Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game when he was played with Philadelphia Warriors against the Knicks in 62.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you know? Like, I don't know what Wilt looks like or plays like. How do you know that's real? You think history is a real thing?
I love it. Thank God.
What
this
about the
man knows how to
moon
play
landing?
basketball.
This guy asked. No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in anything that happened before 1950.
Well, the moon landing was after 1950.
I know.
I'll tell you
what's
this.
even better about that.
Also, wait, what were you gonna say, Maddie?
No, just that he's dumb. I just wanted to reiterate.
For real, like, how do we know? When did, he's talking about Christopher Columbus? He's like, for real, like, how do we know? When did he come to the land or whatever? They said 1492.
It's no fluke that the best year Miami had a couple years ago, he was hurt in the playoffs.
I just, well,
I wouldn't build a team around him.
Then somebody's like, go ahead, Jim.
Well, Pat Riley was born in 1945.
He doesn't believe in Pat Riley.
Okay, doesn't believe in Pat Riley. Or at least Pat Riley's childhood. Riley? I believe in Pat Riley.
I believe in Pat Riley.
Okay.
Apparently, he just doesn't believe in Pat Riley's childhood.
I guess not. He just came out as a, 70-something-year-old man.
I love it.
Somebody was claiming that Tyler Hero has never read a book because historians have documented it. That's how we know. And he said, see, y'all believe in that shit. I don't believe that shit. I never read that shit in school. Man.
Okay.
This guy, got to keep an eye on this guy.
I love it. I love this is just one of those things like, why do we listen? This is when people start listening to what athletes have to say. Perfect example. Like, boom.
Good news. Joey Chestnut returning to
back,
Nathan's
baby.
Hot Dog 80
The GOAT's
contest.
Back. The GOAT is back. I hope he breaks the record this year.
Well, he did that sort of unsanctioned. Well, it was sanctioned, but then they did a different sort of timeline last year, and he would have annihilated that record.
Yes, he also would have easily annihilated anybody in the contest last year.
Yeah.
But he's back. The GOAT's back, baby.
Do you know that my brother-in-law, his ex-girlfriend, is dating Joey Chestnut?
What?
That's
awesome. I swear to God.
That's awesome.
I never really asked
him. Is he cool with his ex-girlfriend? Can we get Joey Chestnut on the show?
I'll ask him.
Can we get old Joey Chestnut on the Sports Hole?
Oh, we could get one of our original guests, too. Boston Nate.
Yep.
forget his fucking name. The food eating competition guy we had on
Yeah,
years
the weight
ago.
tip guy. The guy who
Please.
sends 500 freaking Instagram reels a day.
Oh, this is exciting though. I love that shit.
I'm happy he's back with Nathan's.
Maddie,
You guys like Nathan's hot dogs, by the way? Just as a
I don't eat hot dogs, but I used to.
I'll be honest. Like when I eat hot dogs, it's usually like once or twice a year, either like 4th of July or camping or whatever. And I just plow through them. I don't really.
You don't care
like,
which brand?
I guess I don't spend enough time with hot dogs to really determine them. I
I'm
think
thinking about
Nathan's-
doing.
And it was Hebrew National that used to do the Dodger dogs.
Yeah, Hebrew National did those.
Yeah, but I don't think they do them anymore.
We got the red dogs here too in Nebraska.
Oh, yeah?
I'm thinking about just like going to the grocery store, maybe doing a whole video reviewing hot dogs.
Yeah, hot dogs are weird. They're just sort of like sodium tubes, and then
So
the condiments
salty.
kind
They're
of
so salty.
the condiments kind of make the dogs, I feel. But I'm sure if there's a really good hot dog out there,
Ballpark makes pretty good ones. Nathan's
Ballpark.
are decent. Nathan's are good.
Yeah.
Hebrew National, another good one. You know, there's plenty of dogs out there.
Maddie, why don't you eat hot dogs?
Just don't like them.
Really? You just never
Make
have?
my body feel weird. I don't like the taste.
Hot dogs make your body feel weird?
Yeah.
Sodium maybe. A little
Sounds like
sodium,
something Tyler Hero would say.
little sodium overload for Maddie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maddie, your favorite wag is in the news again. Kelly Stafford.
Yeah.
Kelly Stafford.
Oh, is this about weed?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Two of Maddie's favorite things.
Now I can get on board with it.
oh,
Two of
dude,
Maddie's
yeah. So
favorite
she
things.
takes edibles because it helps her be a
Yeah,
better
now I can get on
parent.
board with her. Yeah, good for you, Kelly.
That's the
She
most
brought you back in.
white
Yeah.
woman wife. Yeah,
You should have sex with her haters too to make Matt Stafford mad. Like she
you're
did in
right. Yeah,
college.
Matthew wasn't paying attention, so I decided to have
Backup
sex with
quarterback.
this little Jewish guy to get him riled up, and he plowed me later on that night.
Yeah.
All right, what else here? Oh, and Jim sent us a video of this fat punter in the indoor league.
Yeah, I saw that.
But Jim, tell us about this guy. Tell us about his
Okay.
girth.
So this guy, he kind of popped off on social media like a few years ago because he was punting for an FCS school. Was just as big back in college, but it's a big old boy, and
I mean, like big old boy. Compare him
Big,
to
big.
someone.
He's like
I mean,
a
he looks like
sphere.
John Candy out there.
yeah, if you like shrunk John Candy down from like being because John Candy's kind of tall, right?
Yeah,
Like imagine John Candy if he was I don't know. This guy's probably like what 5'10", maybe.
Okay.
And he's got to be well over like 350.
Sure.
And he's just a big sphere. And you don't see punts too often in like the arena leagues. And not only that, you don't see these guys as punters too often. So it's good to see him get a job. But when he punts the ball and then waddles his way downfield, like saunters is a good word to use. Saunters his way down the field after the punt, and then just gets absolutely blindsided by a guy. Knocks his helmet off, everything. Poor guy is on the floor, just like not having a great time. They throw the flag, but you know, we're always going to appreciate just big boy punters.
It's
And the
really funny.
he punts for the Washington Wolfpack, which might be the worst team in the league, by the way.
I'm a huge Wolfpack fan.
I'm a big Nashville Cats fan. That's my team in AF1. The
By
Nashville
the way,
Cats.
this guy is built so much like a sphere. The Eagles booked a residency there. With
Oh,
him.
oh.
Hey.
They're going to be showing Grateful Dead on his stomach later this week.
Yeah. All right. We're going to do a little movie review. Chiefsaholic. Maddie's recommendation. This was a good one. This really
I told
was
This was awesome.
over the top here. I didn't lay out the full like trajectory of this guy's story because I thought we'd just shoot the shit on it a little more. Basically, this guy was a huge figure, you know, one of those super fans. He dressed like a wolf. He went by Chiefsaholic and was robbing banks to pay for his lifestyle so he could sit, you know, front row at games.
an insane like twist for a super fan. I love it.
I
Yeah.
liked it because it got really into the psyche of the super fan, which I talk to sports fans, but you don't realize certain level of sports fans like that their whole room they have rooms dedicated to their favorite teams, just like dedicated everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I know people like build man caves and they put in like a couple jerseys and stuff for their team and what that. But yeah, super fandom is. I've never met a super fan. Like Jim, have you?
No, I was trying to think. No, never
Yeah,
missed.
this level is pretty intense.
I do hear like the Ohio State guys, whatever the super fans for them,
No,
the
the
buck
guys who
nut or
paint their face kind of
I
white
do
and wear the
hear like they
Buckeye.
are just the worst people.
I'm sure they are.
But I did see an interview with like the Oklahoma City Thunder like super fans, Thunder. He
Oh,
paints his
really?
belly. He gets his belly like professionally painted for every game. Um, and
How
he
much does
seemed
that
really
cost,
nice.
do you think?
I think he has a friend do it.
Okay.
His friend is like a professional like tattoo artist, so they just like
I mean, that's
paint
still a
it.
lot of work though if
Yeah.
you're doing that good of a job.
Oh yeah.
We had yeah, so this guy's name is Xavier Babudar. Sounds like it's straight out of Star Wars story.
It,
This was a fun story. It was depressing as shit too.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically what he would do is he would go as he's dry. He would go to every game, dress up
Road game.
for every game, sit in some of the best seats there, and no one could figure out. Even other super fans were like, "How are you paying for this?" Because he was very vague about what he did.
And going to road games too.
Yeah, so he'd go on the road games. And that's where he'd rob the banks, like on his way to these games. And he at first it sort of alludes like he got caught once, and then it reveals like he robbed quite a few banks,
a lot of banks.
and then
Well,
he
what they
was
figured out was wherever the Chiefs were playing on the road was where the robberies were happening. So they put it together.
and he got away with quite a few of them
He
too.
did.
He actually could have lived a nice lifestyle with
I
the
know, he
original
gambled.
money he got. Well, the gambling was also sort of laundering, you know.
Yeah,
You take the money into the casinos and cash
yes,
out, then you come back with different bills. So
exactly.
can't necessarily be traced back
Yeah.
to you. One bank he had robbed for like $300,000. To me, the biggest twist in this was that this guy like came from a family of mental illness. Like his mom was living out of a van with his brother. They would pee in bags and
Love
then
it, love
throw them
it.
away. They kind of sort of would just park themselves inside of in a Target parking lot, and they could go in and use the bathroom there, but they didn't. They would just literally pee in bags and throw them away, or not throw them away sometimes. Because this bounty hunter was quite a character too.
Well, yeah, he's
So the
a
bail
big part.
bondsman that bailed him out originally was like, I gotta help out the wolf,
And
man.
he helped him out because he's a fucking dumb Chiefs
That was
fan.
dumb. Oh my
They're
god.
like, bro, who cares? He's a wolf. He's a goddamn criminal. Like, I know you buy into the story. His mom is poor. He comes from a rough, upbringing, whatever. And he's a big Chiefs fan. He's out there, wolf, whatever. But you got to know it's like Chad Zumach. There was a time I was like, yeah, this Chad guy is all right. And then you realize, like, he's a criminal. Like, people that are criminals, and you kind of buy into their stories sometimes, and then you realize, like, who they are. And this guy, you can feel compassion for him, but he's a criminal. And then when you hear the poor woman who was a bank teller who basically was like, throw the book at him, she was pretty fucked up from him.
Yeah. I work in hospitality and you're kind of vulnerable to the public in that. And
Yeah.
and I work in a business where people could, hold me up. And trust
Absolutely.
me, if someone held a fucking gun to my head,
No,
fake or not,
You
I
think
will
of your
never
wife.
ever forget that motherfucker.
Yes,
Like,
you think of your wife, your
oh
family, your
yeah,
friends, your
God,
lovers, yourself. It's
yes.
like I have a little compassion for him, but like the bail bondsman to be like, hey, he's one of us. No, he's not. He's not
That was
Patrick
the
Mahomes.
stupidest thing. Like that guy's he's an older guy. He's been around forever. And then the funny part was when, Xavier was just sort of going, "Oh man, you look so young for your age," and everything. And this bail bondsman had the worst wig I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy
I will say
shit!
this: I do feel like bail bondsmen should have bad wigs. Like they should look skeevy and
You're
weird.
kind of right. I do get that. Like you,
Well, I was like thinking he's like getting mad at the guy because he's like, if he fucks me over, I'm like, you put up all this money for this crazy criminal. What do you
also,
expect him to do?
I don't quite
He's a
know
criminal.
how it works, but he had two like winning tickets on him too that amounted to that over like 150,000 or
Yeah,
$200,000.
sure.
I don't know if there was a way to transfer those tickets to him for the collateral.
But
Um,
he split.
but he could have taken that as collateral too. Like you don't give $80,000 with no
He was
collateral.
like in love with this guy because as a Chiefs fan, he watches the Chiefs. He sees this guy on TV. He thinks that we're all part of the team, which you're not, and felt like he needed to help this guy, and he almost got seriously burned for it. And like as much as the guy was freaking out, the bounty hunter, I'm like, it serves you right. Why would you put up money for a guy just because he likes the Chiefs? It's crazy.
Yeah, it like it's sort of weird. I mean, I almost feel like this guy had an ulterior motive because, like, yeah, cool, the guy loves the Chiefs. Like, this guy's probably fucking guilty though, too.
Of course, people are bored. They want to be part of something. They want to help out. They
But the way
want
the
to.
guy talked to him reminded me of like the way I used to talk to addicts. Like, you try to reason with
Yes.
people, like, this, I can only help you if you help, if you do this
Well,
and
what you
that.
also think is you're the one that's going to get to them, and that's the biggest mistake. There
Right.
was a girl out here that was out in LA that was doing comedy that everybody kind of knew was on heroin, and she would hit me up from time to time, and I was like, I wanted to help her, but you just don't trust her. Like I could never have her
Was
over. I
she
could never.
cute?
She was very pretty, but like I couldn't have her over to my sister's house because like you're not the one that's going to make them better. They have to make themselves better. And
Yeah.
everybody thinks they're going to be the one that's going to save that person. And I know that's what he was thinking. Like we can bond on our love for the Chiefs. He's a good guy on down on his luck. Let me help him out. And he helped him out and he got burned in like a second.
Yeah. So this was nuts. Overall, it was really sad with the angle with his mom and brother living out of that van,
Yes.
and which there must be bad, really bad mental illness because between the two of them, they could have
Mm,
got remedial jobs and found a place to live,
yeah.
if they were not suffering from some sort of mental illness. But and so
I
you see what
highly
this guy
recommend the
came from, and
documentary,
that,
and I highly recommend the documentary, and it's a tale of America because there's so much. There's sports. There's social media. There's the idea of being famous. There's the idea of being famous for something that you're not part of, but you want to be part of in your own
yeah,
way, and that's really interesting.
it's like Almost Famous, the movie. If you've
Yeah,
seen that,
like you're part of the band, but you're not the band.
right?
But you're part of it
Yeah,
somehow.
you're sleeping
If
with the band.
if King Hudson blows the drummer, he's going to play a better solo.
Yeah, like this guy wasn't even reaching Kelly Stafford levels,
No, but it was. I saw it a few months ago. I even thought like your wife would love it because I think it's like it's more a study on humans than
I was
sports.
gonna say, yeah, this isn't as much of a sports documentary as it is like a character study of this guy.
Character
and
study, true
yeah.
crime kind of thing.
And also people that want to, the need to be famous in a field where they're not famous, and like the idea of like what Twitter, what the hitting of the love, the likes, the people thinking you're cool, people wanting your picture. Like I'm sure there's a kid, it's like 7, that probably went to a Chiefs game and got a picture with him and got a picture with Mahomes and was more excited to have a picture with the fucking Chiefaholic
Yeah, the Chiefaholic.
than Patrick. And I'm not talking Jackson, I'm talking Patrick.
It's funny because this is one of those times where, like, I remember I kept seeing this in the headlines, and I
Yeah.
would never click on it. I
Yeah.
didn't, and I really regret it because
It's a
all the
fascinating
details
story.
were insanely interesting.
Right?
I remember reading about it when it like came out and everything, and yeah, I wonder, do they show Chiefs games in prison? You think?
I'm
He's
sure.
he got 30 years, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think prisons have like direct ticket and are just like?
I think they let him watch like special games. They can probably watch
Sunday Night Football, Monday
Yeah.
Night Football.
Well, I could
the
also
UF
see it causing
UFL
fights
is
too.
punishment.
You know, like
Oh, punishment, man! It's a reward.
Yeah. They make him watch the Arena Football League with the fat punter.
no, they make them watch like Jags versus,
Yeah.
you know.
But
Nothing but Thursday Night Football, like shit games.
the lawyer was weird too. The lawyer was very odd.
That guy was really this guy. Speaking of someone who wanted to be portrayed as cool too, he was like, he was the guy in front. He had all these tattoos? He was making stupid, and NFL football analogies. Like what the hell did he say at the end?
We're like, this is like sudden death overtime now. We're going in and he needs your help. Chief Kingdom. This is like sudden death for us.
Was he also the guy that was like in front of the black flag?
Yeah, I think so.
Like he had all these rock posters in the back.
Yeah, he was
he was the rock and roll lawyer. It was just so bad. I'm like, I could be a fucking lawyer if this guy's a lawyer. Jesus.
Well, that's the beauty of lawyers is that like no matter they can probably know you're guilty or innocent in a second, and they can spin it whatever the fuck they want it.
This guy just probably handles like low rent DUIs all day, and it was like, oh, cool, I got one here, and he'll never see a fucking dime from Xavier for this.
Well, that bounty hunter is mad lucky, man.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I learned about the bounty hunting too. So I didn't know, like, even if they were past the time limit that you could get your money back as long as they made it to court at some point. So
yeah.
But he did have to cut a check to the court for $80,000, and then that same day they caught him. That was pretty
so lucky.
Big, awesome. And it was funny seeing him get mad too. He's like throwing stuff like "Get out of here!" But he didn't.
Well, it kind of went from like, okay, he's got a couple days. I'm not panicking yet, and then like he just starts to sweat and panic, and then he's like, "Get the camera out of my face." He was loving being in the movie, and then till the last minute.
Yeah, I loved his little shoulder roll to get the trackers under the minivan too. He's like just being covert. This movie was filled with a lot of characters beyond just Xavier, the Wolfman.
Yes. It was very well done.
No, that was a good one, Maddie, for sure. So, and Jim, any last thoughts on Chiefsaholic?
Free Chiefsaholic. I think they should keep him in prison, but only let him out for Chiefs games.
It's a cautionary tale about what, I don't know. It's a fun story, and it's a sad story.
It's a great story.
It really is. And it's like you see the headline. I never understood it because I always thought it was the mascot that did it. And I'm like, the mascot they hired did it, but then I realized,
what's the
mascot's
mouse name?
But it's a hell of a story.
It's just the KC Wolf. That's the mascot's name.
Yeah, I thought it was like the mouse that's like on the field, but it wasn't.
Which is a wolf, Maddie. That is a wolf.
No.
What mouse are you talking about?
There's like an official mascot on the field.
That is the KC Wolf.
I thought it was a mouse.
No, it's a wolf.
So he's a wolf too?
Yeah, that's why Chiefsaholic was dressed as a wolf, because the Kansas City mascot is a wolf.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
This guy reminded me of, like, I don't know if you've ever been at a party and then, like, you know, a dipshit that wants some attention, so he's going to go try to fight
That
the
is
baddest
every
dude.
super fan.
Yeah.
That is every.
And I'm
He's
just
going-
like,
or he
you
ju-
know,
what he
this is a
does
bad idea, right?
You know what
This
he
is a
does?
very bad idea.
He goes on the roof of the house and he jumps in the pool.
Yeah.
And he does something stupid like that, or like, you know, does like, I'm gonna jump like 50 feet or something.
Right.
You know, like
That's
he's
fine. I
gotta
know a guy
show
like
off.
that, Maddie, that did that, and he broke both of his ankles jumping off the roof.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a video of a kid that did it on a cruise ship and got eaten by sharks, and it's just like it ends bad.
did they show him getting eaten by sharks, or did he?
I'm not sure, but
No, he just got abandoned. I think they couldn't find him afterwards.
yeah.
But yeah, don't do that. Don't jump off of things. Don't rob banks. But the thing is he did it before and got away with it. So, you know, why not do it? He got 32 years for the one he got arrested for. So I don't know what.
I'm shocked. Like nowadays with all the technology that he didn't get caught. Like I just think like robbing and murder are the hardest things to do nowadays because everything is there's
cameras
everything
everywhere.
is detected.
We are
So
a self-imposed big brother state.
Exactly. That's why like people mass shoot because you know you're gonna get caught. You might as well get it all out
just
of
do
the
them
way.
all at once.
Exactly.
And then
I'm
end
not
it.
giving anybody ideas. I'm just saying this is what the future of.
Well, the next
crime
time somebody
looks like.
there's
I
a
can't
mass
wait to-
murder, you know who to blame,
I can't wait to see the sports hole referenced in their manifesto.
right?
Hey,
Thank you to Matty Goldberg for giving me the confidence.
I'm
to
just
carry
saying
this
what
out.
the technology has led to crime. You know, like you had serial killers that killed hundreds of people and didn't get caught, and now it's like everything is detected through cell phones, cameras, whatnot. Which is it's very good to know.
Yes.
It feels very good to know that.
I
Like,
mean, I always like see this stuff and I'm like, how would I do it differently?
you can't.
I think there's ways to do it.
I don't know. Nobody's figured it
Well,
out.
you got to get on a crotch rocket for starters.
Yeah.
That
It was
like
very good.
Yeah, take your bike into the woods, exchange it for a crotch rocket, and then have another farther set of a plan set up later on to like. There's ways to do this. I've thought of it. I mean, you have to have a lot of things going your way still, but I mean, this guy got this. This was like his fifth or sixth robbery. Like he was getting away with it.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And he had a bike and a freaking fake gun or something, and that's it.
He had a CO2 gun, like an airsoft gun, basically.
Right.
And his gloves.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was a fun one. Maybe we'll think of something else for next week, but and I'm sure we will. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for another exciting edition.
Sports Hall.
Sports Hall. Bye bye.